hymn I'm singing today was actually introduced to me by Paul Washer.
There it is. He was listening to one of his sermon series, and he was talking about how he went to this church and listened to this hymn, and he forgot all the words to the rest of the sermon because he was just thinking about this hymn. So I forgot about his sermon when found him. And it was around the same time that I was doing my baptism meetings with Tootie, and the song was just about a complacent believer growing in their faith, coming to the Lord, and which is exactly what I was going through. So it's very dear to me, and it's a very simple hymn, but the strength is in the lyrics. So I hope they bless you today. Once it was the blessing, now it is the Lord. Once it was a feeling, now it is His word. Once His gift I wanted, now the giver own. Once I sought for healing, now Himself alone. All in all forever, only Christ I'll sing. Everything is in Christ, and Christ is everything. Once 'twas painful trying, now 'tis perfect trust. Once a half salvation, now the uttermost. Once 'twas ceaseless holding, now He holds me fast. Once 'twas constant drifting, now my anchor's cast. All in all forever, only Christ I'll sing. Everything is in Christ, and Christ is everything. Once 'twas busy planning, now 'tis trustful prayer. Once 'twas anxious caring, now He has the care. Once 'twas what I wanted, now what Jesus says. Once 'twas constant asking, now 'tis ceaseless praise. All in all forever, only Christ I'll sing. Everything is in Christ, and Christ is everything. Once it was my working, His it hence shall be. Once I tried to use Him, now He uses me. Once the power I wanted, now the mighty one. Once for self I labored, now for Him alone. All in all forever, only Christ I'll sing. Everything is in Christ, and Christ is everything. Once I hoped in Jesus, now I know He's mine. Once my lamps were dying, now they brightly shine. Once for death I waited, now His coming hail, and my hopes are anchored, safe within the veil. All in all forever, only Christ I'll sing. Christ is everything. Everything is in Christ, and Christ is everything.